friend publicly humiliates my son's weight, body, and parenting abilities, and now I'm questioning whether to end our friendship. I, 27F, was at a friend's house last night with a group of friends of over a decade. I had a kid when I was on the younger side and I am a single mother, so I'm the only one of my friend group with a child besides my older sister, who was also there. My son, we'll call him Adam, is 7 and I'll be fully transparent, he's a chubby kid. My ethnic background results in my build being fairly tall for a woman, and I've always been on the thicker side with plenty of muscle. However, since having a child, the pandemic, and working from home, again I'll be transparent, I've gained a little more weight than usual as well. My son's biological father also has an ethnic background that is known for being thicker built. As a result, my son has had a larger build since birth, even when he was skinnier. I hate referencing my son's body like this. He always had thick legs, arms, and always felt heavier than he looked. Now back to the story. Last night one of my closest friends out of this group sort of came out of nowhere with a comment saying, "Walking is very important, we should all get to walking more, especially Op and Adam." I sort of shot him a look because it felt out of nowhere. But I didn't say anything because honestly he's right, walking is good for you after all. He then continued and said, "Okay, listen, I'm gonna just say it, Adam is too big and you guys need to lose some weight ASAP." This completely took me back and I said immediately, "You can't just say something like that." He half apologized while laughing and continued to talk about how he's not in sports and that I clearly don't motivate him to do anything, I guess because I'm also chubby. He was laughing hysterically and making fun of how my son looked and his body, and it just felt so horrible. He then went on to say that he would do better as a mentor for my son. Trying to curve the conversation, and in a positive way, I said, "You know what, that would be helpful actually. I'm a single mom and it is difficult to always get him to sports or get out and going, and I would definitely like to work out more and get into shape. Why don't we do something all together?" He then started going on about how much better he's gonna do and how Adam needs to stop being lazy and he needs real guidance. Now, I'm not going to list excuses or deep dive into the stuff we've been through in the past few years, but I will say it's been a lot. What I will say though is this friend and are close, but I've lived in a different state for several years and he definitely doesn't know enough about our home life to have made those comments. I have played women's professional football for 2 years and my son was also in football, soccer, and we go on walks daily with our dog. A recent traumatic event left me severely injured and resulted in my son being traumatized as well. He now has severe separation anxiety and we only just now worked up to me being able to leave for the store around the corner while he's with my mom, sister, nephew, and stepdad. My son also has a lot of sensory issues and a phobia of bugs. I wish I was kidding. It's gotten so bad that it's hard now to take him to outside events without complete meltdowns. And yes, we have been working on it, but it is difficult, especially in the summer months. I have still found ways to get him into indoor sports and still get time in the sun at parks, zoos, and aquariums. I have made my best effort as a single parent and I will admit that I have failed. There's been times that we couldn't afford the healthy option. Or times I've worked 12-hour shifts and haven't been able to cook. I will take responsibility as a parent that my child has gotten chubbier, but why make fun of and comment on a child's weight? I would understand if he was severely overweight or obese and a doctor or family member had to step in and say something, but even and I don't feel like the way it was said was kind or constructive. It kind of felt like he was waiting for an opportunity to make fun of mine and my son's weight. And to outright say you could parent my child better is way over the line, especially as a childless male. I've talked to my sister and other family members about it. She was also uncomfortable with the comments. I think I'm going to talk to him because I do value our friendship, but would I be overreacting if I took a step back from our friendship entirely? First, thank you to everyone who showed me support. I honestly did not think I would get this many responses, but I appreciate all of the insight and kind comments. I don't have anything juicy to update unfortunately, other than that my friend has texted me since the incident, but only to invite me to a group event. I haven't responded yet, but I'm contemplating if I should talk to him there or bring it up over text/phone call. Either way, I will update you all once the conversation is had. For clarification, 1. My son was not there when the comment were made. He will sometimes accompany me to event with his friend, but like I said, all of this friend group is child-free, so we usually are not doing child-friendly activities. When we have done child-centered activities together, he has never brought up anything negative to Adam and has always said kind things. 2. My son does regularly visit the doctor and his weight has never been brought up as an issue. He has never been recommended any diets or weight loss by any pediatrician because he's 7 and still growing. I did get worried because of his comments that maybe I was blind to Adam's weight gain as his mother, but family and friends I've asked have confirmed, without bias, that he is a perfectly healthy boy. 3. We do eat a generally healthy diet on a day-to-day basis. I do impress on him the importance of diet and exercise, and we have cut out fast food, save for emergencies and road trips. And he is signed up for a ton of summer camps and sports. That's another reason why his comments felt strange, because he is aware of how much effort I am putting into making sure he is more active since the incident that threw our life out of whack. Adam has only been out of sports for 4 months and hasn't been signed up since due to us moving and his separation anxiety, but he was a very active kid before everything that happened. 4. I cut out some dialogue for length purposes, but I absolutely said more to him to shut down the conversation. I said multiple times to drop it and called him an asshole by the end. He didn't take any of it seriously and sort of rolled his eyes at my attempts to call him out for being a jerk. I shouldn't have just let it go, but I felt like I wasn't going to be heard one way or another. There were some drinks had by him earlier in the night. 5. I see a lot of comments mentioning that he might be interested in me. My friend is gay, so it is strictly platonic. Update 1. All of your insight definitely helped me in my decision to not remain friends with this person, however in light of recent events it seems I wouldn't have had to anyways. So on to the update. I mentioned in my original post that everything this friend said about my child was said in a room full of our mutual friends. Well, not too long ago we all attended a gay pride event together and ended up all hanging out. I left early, mom duties, but they all continued to hang out and drink. Apparently after I left, the friend who insulted my kid, Jerry, and our other mutual friend, Kyle, who owned the apartment, got into an argument that grew into a physical fight. Jerry got extremely violent and ended up biting through Kyle's finger and punching his girlfriend in the face when she tried to intervene. He also broke over $1,000 worth of things in their apartment, and from what I heard the entire place was covered in blood. The next morning I get a call from Jerry and he tells me his version of what happened. He was drunk. He blacked out. He had no clue until the next morning. It wasn't that bad. I then spoke with Kyle and his girlfriend and got the full version of the night's events that I detailed above. They also spoke with me about how disappointing and uncomfortable his comments about my son Adam made them, as they all know and love my son and know he is well taken care of. Long story short, we have all decided to end our respective friendships with Jerry. His use of manipulation, the blatant lying, and his strange and rude comments have all come to the surface, and as sad as we all are to be losing a friend of over a decade, this has to happen. He is obviously not happy about it and has been contacting us all frequently, calling us assholes and saying we all abandoned him. Anyway, not the cheeriest of updates, but thank you all again for sticking it through. I'm glad I was able to make my decision to distance without also having to lose my other friends in the group, but I feel so horrible that they had to go through that. My gripe with Jerry seems so small now compared to what happened. It seems to have really traumatized Kyle and his girlfriend.